Hey up everyone, Yorkshire Magpie here. I hope you're okay. Well, what a great way to start the channel with a loss. Of course, it's Newcastle United. It's not going to go any other way, is it? Let's be honest. But surprisingly, we weren't that bad. It was okay. It was alright. We tried. Do you know what I mean? We tried. And that is all, to be fair, that is all I can ask from the boys. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, let's talk about the reason why I'm called the Yorkshire Magpie. Controversial, he's not a true Geordie. The haters are coming for me, I'm sorry. So yeah, this is how it happened. My mum and dad met. My dad's from County Durham, my mum's from Jesmond. They're both Geordies, or thereabouts. My dad's a Newcastle fan. It gets passed down. He goes, you have no choice, you're going to be a Newcastle fan. Although at one point, I did try to become a Bolton fan. Yeah, God knows why. Sorry, Bolton fans. But we're bad, but you're pretty bad. But yeah, they lived up in Newcastle. My dad was a big Toon fan. They had my brother up there, Andy, born in Newcastle, just from St James's Park, the true Geordie. And then they went, do you know what? Let's have another kid. Let's get him to support Newcastle, but let's move down to Yorkshire so he's not a true Geordie. Great idea. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'm a Yorkshireman and I support Newcastle, and that's the way it has been all the way throughout my life, and that's the way it always will be, because we love the Toon. So yeah, let's talk about the game. We've just lost 3-1 to Man United. And just so you all know, everything that I say is purely opinions based. There's probably going to be someone down in the comments going, you know nothing about football, and you wouldn't be wrong. So yeah, I'm going to break down the game, mostly from a Newcastle's perspective, because if you didn't realise, I'm a Newcastle fan. Don't know if I've said that already. Oh yes, I have. But I've also brought my good friend George Griffiths on, who's a Man United fan, and he will talk about the game more from a Man United perspective. So I thought we started the game really well. You know, the first 10 minutes, we looked panicked. We looked like there was not much structure there, and it was a bit all over the place. But most importantly, that confused Man United, and we were on top because of that. I don't feel, correct me if I'm wrong everyone, I don't feel like Steve Bruce intended for the game to start that way in a bit of a mad rush, but it worked. Because there was no structure there, they didn't know how to follow our game. They didn't know how to close us down. But after about 10 minutes or so, we allowed them the ball. We sat very deep. We had, in a defensive structure, we have five at the back and 2 sitting in front. And there wasn't much press from us, which I completely understand. We need to be in a structure to defend against a bigger side, a top team, who is going to annihilate us if we're out of position. But we allowed them too much space, in my opinion. We could have pressed them a little bit. I don't think we were the worst side, necessarily. I think we played well. Yeah, I think we played well. United played badly, in my opinion. So maybe it was just that they played badly, which made us look good. Who knows? But no, I think we played well. United, for their level, played badly. And unfortunately, we couldn't capitalise on that. But I think we deserve to get something out of the game. I think we deserve to get a point. But they just have that extra bit of class at the end. Like that first goal with Rashford. I mean, what are you going to do there? I mean, Emmanuel Kraft was slightly out of line with the rest of the defence. And he could have tucked in a little bit closer. But that is just world class from Rashford. I mean, how are you going to stop that? So yeah, that first goal was absolute class, and I love to see later on in the game, Rashford tried to skin Emmanuel Kraft again, and Emmanuel Kraft went, no, I'm not having this, and he just suplexed him out of nowhere like WWE style. I was a big fan of that. And then we go to the other end, and St Maximin scores an absolute screamer. What a boy. But then we go back the other end, and Daniel James gets quite a fortunate ball through to him, and it just finishes again. Good finish. Darlow could have done better on both the first goals, being a near post both times. Come on, Carl. You could do better than that. I've been a big advocate for Carl Darlow. I think he's a really, really good player, and I've been saying he should. I think he deserves a shout for an England call-up. I think he's good enough to do that. But today he just wasn't his normal self, I don't think. And today was the first time I watched him play, and I went, maybe there's calls for Dubravka to come back into the side. You know, Dubravka, would he make those mistakes? Probably not. I think we've got an alright side. We've got a decent side. But the keeper position, I think, is really secure. We've got Carl Darlow and we've got Martin Dubravka. And I think those two are really, really good. So whichever one is picked, I'm happy. And I feel like we've got a good, sure keeper in the team. And I think, rightly so, Steve Bruce has kept Carl Darlow in even after Dubravka has come back from injury, because he deserved it, because he's had a good start to the season. And I think he still deserved to be called up today. But today was the first game where I went, yeah, maybe Dubravka can start coming back in for a few games now. Miggy Almiron, you, my friend, are a brilliant player, and you worked so hard today. He made so many good runs, and unfortunately, the rest of the team didn't follow him up. There were so many times he had the ball, whether it be down the wing or through the middle, and he looked up and went, no one's with me, I'm just going to run it by myself then. And what can you do with that? He's going to lose the ball, and that's what happened. He lost the ball because there's no one there, there's no options there around him. And we really miss Callum Wilson today. And I know that's a given because he's one of our best players, and he's out for about 8 weeks, and that worries me, especially with this relegation scrap we've got on our hands. I'm a big fan of the 4-3-3 formation. It's so much better than 5 at the back. I've been calling out for us to be a bit more attacking for the whole season. Even last season, we were very deep, and it's nice to see a bit of attacking flair within our side. And since that formation change, we've looked so much better. And you know, we've lost games. We lost against Chelsea. We lost today, but they're big sides, and we played good football. There was glimmers of hope. When we had 5 at the back, we could hope for, at best, 2 opportunities per game in front of goal. Now we're getting more. We're getting shots off. We're starting the games well. We've got pace. We've got intensity. We just didn't have that before. I'm also clearly a big fan of this new coach, Graham Jones, because since he's come in, our team looks completely different. Which makes you think, what has Steve Bruce been doing? What are you doing there, Brucey boy? Now, Man United's 3rd goal. I understand. I get it. It's a penalty. I understand that. That's the rules. I get it. Willock had contact with Rashford and he went down, as any player in the league would. And it is a penalty. Based on the rules that we have today, it's a penalty. It needs to change. It's too soft for me. Far too soft. He barely touches him. Willock is actually pulling out of the out of the tackle, catches him barely, and falls to the ground. You can literally brush a player and penalty. It's just ridiculous. But like I said, I know it's a penalty, and Fernandez took the penalty really well. It was a good finish. Don't know what Darlow was doing, diving forward, but yeah, good finish, good penalty. Like I said at the beginning, I think we deserve to get something out of the game. I'm not too disheartened with the result that we had today, but we need to start picking up some results now. We're getting dangerously close to that bottom 3. Well, we are a place above the bottom 3, and Fulham are catching us up with the form they're in. Are we going to go down? Maybe. But yeah, let's talk to George now. See what he has to say.
Yeah, I mean, 3-1.
Yeah, on my behalf, I thought we played so badly and you deserved to win the game.
Really?
We had no proper structure until, I'd say, the last 10, 15 minutes. And for the first 20, 25 minutes of the game, I was like, this is just going to be another, no offense, but another lower league team, which is going to beat us. And I was like, it's going to happen again. But luckily, and it was just lucky chances. Like that Dan James goal, that pass was not pass. It wasn't meant for him, but it just happened to fall his way. So yeah,
I don't know if it's intentional, but we play with a lot of like, well, we'll just see what happens. And I was like, they're shaken because they don't know what they're playing against. And as soon as we started sitting back, it was about after 20 minutes, like I said, we started sitting back, which is understandable because you've got a team full of quality. We started sitting back and we allowed you time. And as soon as we allowed you time, you had time to be like, right, okay, let's all chill out. Let's get back into it. Yeah, it was.
I was going to text you. I was going to text you before the game because the one player that I was worried about was Saint Maximin, because obviously he's been injured recently and he's got a lot to prove, and he just proved that in the only goal for Newcastle. But he's just such a huge threat for Newcastle, and it'll be interesting to see how long he stays there because he is a high class player. And he's not playing in a high-class team at the moment.
I'm scared he'll go in the summer. I genuinely, even if we stay up, I feel like he'll go. We've always been stepping stone United. Yonan Kabai, Musa Sissoko. There's so many players that just go, yep, here we are, and then we'll step up. And I just got the feeling he's one of them. He actually, I know what you mean, and he was like, in my head, I was like, he's going to be our biggest threat. But Miggy Almiron's been playing really good recently.
Yeah.
And I think for the first 10, 15 minutes, I don't think Maximin had the ball once. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I was like, he didn't. I made a note of it on my phone. After 20 minutes, it was like Alan St. Maximin from the commentary. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's playing. I sort of forgot he was there because Miggy was making all the runs and no one was there with him. It was the strangest thing. But yeah, I agree with what you said. I think we played well, but I think we're playing against a side that didn't play well enough, and it allowed us to be in the game. And it was individual bits of quality that finished us. The Rashford goal, just quality. Kraft was slightly out of line with the back four, but quality. Dan James, it was ball to him, but quality. And then what can you do?
Like with Bruno, he had such a poor game, but we talk about the quality of players. He was still able to get an assist and a goal in that game where he played bang average.
Yeah.
I think it was really obvious that our midfield were so weak today, and we were just torn apart in some sections because we don't have Pogba, we don't have Van de Beek, Cavani's off injured at the moment, and you could see that we've gone kind of down the tiers of who is our first choice at the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's amazing that you've got people like Ahmad and Shantar on the bench getting their first, debuts in the match, but they kind of shouldn't be, because they should have someone like Cavani and Donny in that sub bench ready to come on for if someone like Martial isn't performing to his best. But it was a good game. I'm not gonna lie. I did find it fun to watch.
Yeah.
Who's Newcastle's next games?
We've got Wolves next, and then we've got West Brom after that.
Okay. So that'll be a good game because it's a fight for.
Yeah, do you know what? It's with Newcastle. I always have that little glimmer of hope that we're going to nick a result because we do have individual quality. We have, Wilson is obviously injured at the moment, but we have Wilson, we have Saint Maximin, we have Miggy Almiron, we have Jonjo Shelvey on his day is brilliant. We have those individual bits of quality. I just think as a team we're not set up quite right. I think now we've moved to a 4-3-3, so much better. And we're moving in the right direction, but is it too little too late now? If Fulham are in form, we might go down. I'm getting nervous now.
Yeah. What we were saying about if you got relegated and you went down to the Championship, do you think that would then be the time for Steve Bruce to go? Or do you think he would still...
I think Steve Bruce already should have gone. The problem is our owner, Mike Ashley, is going to do the cheapest option. And it's unless there is a real threat of us going down, he won't get sacked. In my opinion, there is a threat of that, but there is still a bit of a gap between us and Fulham at the moment. Until that gap is literally a point, maybe 3 points at most, I think that will be the only point where he goes, right, okay, I need to sort this out. We could have got rid of him in January and brought in someone else. But who wants to come? Because you're just going to be a yes man.
Mm.
Like, I'm pretty sure last time when we appointed Steve Bruce, he was something like the 13th choice. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
13th. He was really low down the pecking order. People are just saying no because they know how the club is run, and they're not gonna have any influence in the transfers. You've just got to be a yes man, and Steve Bruce is not a good, in my opinion, he's not a good enough manager for Newcastle United. But who's going to step in? I feel like we should have tried to get someone else in. That's why I think we brought this coach in January, Graham Jones, and he's turned, since he's come in, we've gone for the 4-3-3 and something's changed and we're playing better. That makes me think, what's Steve Bruce been doing? What's he been doing? This coach has come in and he's doing his job for him. Like, what's happening?
I was listening to the commentators today talking about a Man United Newcastle football match was like top tier football to watch
back in the day,
and now it just feels like a top 4 team playing like an average team in the Premier League, and hoping one of them scores. Whereas it should be a case of they used to be fighting for the Premier League title. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy, and that just shows what bad ownership can do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, United are going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, but if you're getting there, the building blocks are there. You're giving Ollie the chance. You're bringing in good signings. You just need a few more additions, and I think maybe 2-3 years you're going to be challenging again.
Yeah.
Like with us, I just can't unless there's a takeover. I can't see it going anywhere. I just can't. The only way is down, and I don't want to be negative. I'm trying to be positive, and I think our squad's good. Our squad on paper is good enough to stay up and good enough to even get top half, but I just think the club's just run badly. I really like Scott Willock, who we've brought in. He's really good. He adds a bit of something different to our midfield, and I think he was so unfortunate to give away that penalty today.
Yeah, I mean that's a complete another conversation, isn't it? About how soft penalties are. I mean, everyone will have the stigma, rightly so, about how many penalties Man United get. But if you look at the penalties that we've received this year, it's no way near compared to other clubs at the moment. But
no. Yeah,
it was a soft penalty. Don't get me wrong, but I think it still would have been classed as a penalty just because the contact was there. But it was just an unfortunate one.
But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for joining me today, and we'll see you soon.
I would.
Wow, riveting stuff there from George Griffiths. Just what a talented boy. Thanks, George, for that, and I'm really looking forward to the next time United beat us. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, if you've made it this far. Wouldn't surprise me if you haven't, because I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Cheers. See you later.